Good morning. Welcome to Maths Education live from Liverpool in 2022. Wow, how time flies. Oh my goodness, I've just lost my note sheet. Of course, first thing, if you have any questions live, they take priority. I'm not always brilliant at spotting them straight away, so if you type in a question and I don't see it, please do type again and get at me and I'll pay attention, because I always talk about something as well. And today I'm going to talk about plans for 2022. Been looking back, I've done a similar session at the start of 2021 and 2020, and they were so good in helping me to set some specific goals for what I'm doing with this channel. And I've achieved most of them. I can't believe it. Last year was such a chaotic year. I'm just looking back. Create videos for age 6 teaching, that's British Year 2. I did the whole series. Free share my outline planning guides for individual year teaching and mixed year teaching. I did all that. Improved my live streams. Tried. Certainly didn't manage to do Instagram. Well, tried that as well. Didn't get my head around it. Continued to publish free worksheets working with Jeff Kuchar. That's amazing. That's happened. Publicise my resources, continue to develop my Facebook group, my LinkedIn group. Paid promotion in my dreams. It's enough. I'm just struggling to keep it paid to keep this channel running, but I'm managing that, so I'm pleased about that. Update all video descriptions to provide more information. I did that. Target working 20 days in schools. I managed 50. It was so key to get back into schools after being out for a while because of lockdowns, and now I'm back in mainly teaching. I'll tell you a bit more about that as I set my targets for this year. What are your targets for this year? Hi, if you've joined me, please do say hi and tell me what you're hoping to do this year. I'd love to know. So, my notes, I'm going to write this up as a blog as well on my Authentic Maths website, but one of my targets is to change and rebrand that website, so that might happen. Hello, see more people are joining. Where are you joining from? Who's watching? And have you got any targets for 22? If you think of any along this live stream, please tell me. I'd love to know. Right, so clear target for 2022 is to deliberately rebrand this, my whole identity here, live streaming and doing videos. It's happened over time anyway, but not everyone's consciously aware of it, and I thought this is a good time to put it in writing. When people see that you're very active on LinkedIn and on YouTube, they quite reasonably assume that that's because you're selling something and you're working to a formula. I'm just not. And I've had for a long time, I've run a lot of professional development in schools and in conferences for teachers. So it's been assumed that that's kind of the purpose of this, and it's just not been. But now I'm just going to focus on teaching for 2022. There's such a need for it. The work is so amazing, working on interventions in schools directly with kids. So I'm really not going to try and run a commercial business as a maths consultant at all. Occasionally pick up little bits of work just because people know me and I've done work for them in the past generally. But I'm not in competition. I'm not, if you're looking at me going, is she in competition with me? Is she a threat? I'm just not. Just use me, just get in touch. Love your channel, watching from Hong Kong. I work in an international school here and work in our inclusion department. Your videos are so helpful. I used to teach in Hong Kong. It's where I started teaching a long time ago, back in the days when the red paint was chipped off the E2R post boxes and they were repainted purple. Yeah, I taught in a wraparound primary school, because of course primary schools were only in half day. I don't know if they still are, and we taught a lot around that, working with early years, teaching English, teaching all sorts of things. Just an amazing experience. So lucky because my first husband was working out there. So thank you for encouragement is really welcome. What are your plans for 2022? What do you want to improve? I'd love to know if you've got time to share that. Yep. So if you are a professional who works in consultancy, good luck to you. It's really hard to do. It's really hard to do as a commercial business. If I can do anything to support you, please get in touch. I mentor people. Oh wow, you've been here since 1999. I've not been there since 1999. Leah, I remember landing at Kai Tak. Hang on, is Kai Tak the new one? No, that's Lantau. Yeah. Traveling around China, exploring China, going to Lushan, amazing places like that, and watching Princess Diana's funeral being broadcast live on Shenzhen Station. That was interesting. Yeah, so I have a little bit of Cantonese, like "Mommy, hai bin doa?" We are. Generally, the body language conveys more than the actual language. Right. Yeah, so I'm about supporting other professionals, mentoring them, promoting what you do. If you've got businesses running services in maths education, if you sell products, I don't care if you make money. If you're doing a good job, I want to look after you and help you make money so you can survive into the future. I know how hard it is for most people to function. I've been around too much for a long time to not see that. So if I can look after you, please get in touch. If you're a teacher on the front line and you've just got some innovative practice you're really proud of and would love to share, you just think there's something going on, get in touch. We won't necessarily make a video. We might just chat live. I mean, not live on air, just on Zoom or something. And I can help you understand and develop the vocabulary for what you're doing, just by having been around the block a bit, as you can tell. What else? Yeah, so I'm just kind of feeling my way around how to do something, how this channel is. It just is its own entity. It's not a front end for anything else. It's about sharing great teaching practice, because I've had the enormous privilege of working with lots of brilliant teachers who've shared their practice with me, and I just feel like I should. So, objectives for 2022 for me. 5 of them are about the videos and 5 of them are about the stuff that surrounds that. I've been interviewing some absolutely amazing people. It's been such a privilege to do, and I've got more of those lined up. I'm talking to people just now. I've got a couple of really good ones booked in for January. It's making me read all the current books on maths education and in teaching, and it's hard work to do that, but it's such an amazing thing to do. There are some stunningly brilliant people out there, and to have the chance to talk to them is such a privilege. Just love doing it, so I'm going to continue doing that. Ad hoc videos, I've got one going live tomorrow on 10x10, teaching maths with 10x10 puppets. Whatever comes along and it feels like it needs a video, I will do a video. Continue with the live streams, of course. Hi Jane, hi from Hexham. Yeah, well, my roots, I am Northumbrian through and through. I grew up in Newcastle and I've spent most of my adult life in Cumbria, so in Hexham you're perfectly poised in the middle there. And a lot of this is about keeping up the skill sets for the teachers who teach mixed year classes, because it's such a different skill set. I'm working with a couple of children upper primary, so go back to fundamentals. Yeah, so there's been a real push over recent years to get teachers to follow pre-written schemes, but then the teachers themselves don't have the knowledge of the width of ways in which children do maths and the trajectory that you were just mentioning there from Hong Kong. And if you're going to be a brilliant teacher working in complex circumstances, you need both. So this channel is really about sharing both and compiling it and sharing it. And that brings me on to the next step for the big one for my objectives. And that is, when I've shared all these videos about how to teach maths, it's all been about the co-production of knowledge in Cumbria, where there was so much brilliant teaching knowledge, just working with the teachers who knew so much more than was written down and capturing it and sharing it. And co-production of knowledge is my fascination. I've done a lot of work in health here as well. This is a book I wrote about that. it was really supported in education in England until 2010, and then that stopped, which is why I've worked in health, because it's not been going on in education. But I'm trying to keep it going on in education despite there being no resource for it, because it matters so much and there's so much good stuff out there. So this first generation of videos that I've now completed on how to teach every primary maths topic, my big ambition in 2022 is to start a process of co-producing that knowledge globally and trying to reach out and say, look, this is what I've done so far. I want to remake these videos so that they respect the whole global environment for maths education. And for me, relocating mainly from Cumbria to Liverpool and being dumped into schools that haven't been part of the same community that I've been part of has been a real wake-up call to how cultures are different. And I know they're very different in other countries as well, and I've had the privilege of working with the international communities and talking to people all over the world. And I want to bring together all that knowledge and create new series. I'm thinking there'll be one on the first year of teaching, which in England, obviously America's kindergarten, reception class, P1 in Scotland, when children are typically about 5 and they are coming in, and you can't assume anything, even though they may have had a fabulous nursery education, you can't assume that. Then one on a series on infant teaching, which is really between that first year and between them becoming really ready to learn in the abstract. So in that stage when they really need to work still, a lot of them with concrete apparatus. And then the junior, I don't know how many series that will break into. Well, last time I did it, it broke into 4, but we'll see. And I'm not sure what that means. It's a whole new world to think about what co-producing that knowledge means. But if I set it as an objective, I know I'll at least try. I worked as a fellow of the Royal Society of Arts in the UK on understanding what co-production means and 21st century enlightenment and how we can work as a global community to develop a better understanding and intelligence of the world around us. And that's what I want to try and do next. Big dream. And the 5th one on videos is to try and develop my live streams further. I just sit here with a 5-year-old iPhone. I don't know, it's an iPhone 8. How old's an iPhone 8? And switch on live video. That's all I do. And then I just go into my YouTube later, and if it lets me, I edit it a bit, but if it doesn't, and then I just share a link to it. And I've tried to improve it before and failed because I'm on Apple, and the systems for multi-streaming are so complex on Apple. If you're not on Apple, it seems to be much easier. You can just use Restream or something like that. And I've tried those things and it's not worked. So I'll come back to that and try and do that again. I'm now authorised to do LinkedIn Live, which I might do. And I might just see if I can broadcast through more media. But don't know. I feel like I need support and resource to make that step. But who knows? Sometimes things just become easier and a product becomes available that's really affordable. So I'll keep an eye out for that. Around that, I think it's time I let go of my Authentic Maths business, through which I've run most of the training and development and just became a character. So I need to rebrand my Twitter. I need to rebrand my website. I need to look again at Instagram because I tried and just failed. Continuing to develop worksheets. I'm at number 8 now with the amazing Jeff Kutcher, who's developed all these free worksheets. If you're looking for them, they're on authenticmaths.co.uk/worksheets. And they're all free. And you just, if you're on Facebook, it's dead easy. Just click on them. They just come. There's no walls. I'm not looking for your email address or anything like that because I'm not a commercial business. So most of the amazing worksheets that Jeff created, we've got a single version of them that you just click on, you get them free. Then if you click through, he's just resorting all his versions where you can generate infinite numbers of the same type of worksheet if you need them. And there may be a small charge for that, which I will certainly support him with because he's putting it's a real headache to maintain the resources that he supplies, and he needs to charge something to be able to do that. Continue to nurture all my groups. So that's my Facebook group, which is Expert Primary Maths Teaching, and my LinkedIn group, which is math education, math culture in particular, but also real life groups. So I go to BSRLM in the UK when I can. I'm going back to ACM conference this year. Wherever there are conferences, I will try and get there. It's amazing to do the global conferences, the TODL conferences, the Build Math Minds. It's just a huge privilege to be able to access them. Huge thanks to everyone who does them. And big one for me that nobody else does, and that's one of the reasons why I can't really be commercial, is to continue to talk about and explore the links between education and politics. Because it matters. Policy matters. And as teachers, we always used to talk about this. And that in England in particular, it was just shut down in 2010. And across the world, I've seen people giving up. We need to fight for good policy and we need to find ways to do that. And that is not easy. But if no one talks about it, it's going to be even harder. And people talk about teacher well-being. Well, one aspect of well-being is being connected to the development of the policy that influences your lives. And everyone's totally disconnected in England. And I think they're very disconnected around the world. And that could be otherwise. And we need to fight for that. So I'm going to continue to fight for that. Thanks for the thumbs up. I can see some more people have joined. If you're here, please say hi from wherever you are. Talk about your goals for 2022, or just tell me about what you're doing or where you are and how I can help you, because you can influence what I'm going to do. I'll be drawing this to a close in just a minute or so. So now's the time to type a question if you've got one. I will take those. Yeah, I suppose... What else do I want to say? I need to say a huge thanks to my husband and my family who support me doing this, because it's a big commitment. It costs me financially and time-wise and a loss of income to do what I do here. But it's what I want to do. I tell them it's my hobby. They all have hobbies which we support. This makes me happy to do this, to be able to talk about things. It's my well-being, to be able to talk about people's experiences in the real world and help them. And it fulfills my dream of working with other teachers, which I find so rewarding. Thank you for all the amazing feedback I've had in 2021 and all the communication, all the comments. Whatever your comments are, I want to know. If you post them here on the videos on YouTube or in the Expert Primary Maths Teaching Facebook group, or tag me in the LinkedIn group. That's just awesome. Okay, I think it's just time to sign off. So if you've got any questions, please ask me. If you'd like to talk to me, please get in touch, ideally through questions, or my email is still rebecca@authenticmaths.co.uk. And all the best for 2022. Take care. Bye.